Listen here, lalela. I wonder if you thought South Africans were xenophobic. If you thought South Africans were xenophobic, then clearly you haven't visited other African countries. And I want you guys to listen to me very clearly. I was in Mozambique, I think 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, if not a month. And to say the least, I never, ever, 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 ever again in my entire life want to go back there or visit that country ever again, or any other African country. Guys, as South Africans, we are hated. In other countries, I'm gonna be honest with you, we are hated. We are the most hated people ever in other countries. Anyone who's gonna tell you, hey, Mina was treated good, hey, way in other countries, they're lying to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Either they are lying to you, or they didn't explore that country enough to see how xenophobic our African brothers and sisters can be towards our South Africans. A lot of people will say, yeah, because we've mistreated them, we've done this, we've done that. Guys, first of all, before we get into the mistreating part of Izinto, let me make you a scenario. Let me just make you a small example. You leave your house, you go and visit someone else's house. You get there, they welcome you, they treat you like their own, and in return, what do? You turn their garden, for example, into a dumping site. You sell drugs to their children and destroy their children's future. You open up stores and sell expired goods in that same yard and sell it to their kids to consume and kill their kids. You continue to disrespect and disregard them, disregard authority or their laws or their rules of running that household, and then you expect them to return the same energy. I mean, and not the same energy. You say you expect them to actually treat you good, or in return receive some sort of respect or love from that very same household. How do you expect that from abantu obachaphazile obamoshile? Before we get into that, now we've mistreated them, everything, what. Yes, guys, I used to think like that, and back in the day, to say, no, you know what, we're not being fair on our African brothers. But let's be honest, guys. Most, and I'm not saying all of the problems that we have currently in our country, the crime, the murders, the death of kids, the substance abuse, is because of bona labantu laba. I'm not trying to sound xenophobic, don't get me wrong, I'm not xenophobic. I love my African brothers and sisters, but some of them, guys, have done the worst things ever to our South Africans. I was in Mozambique this other day, and not the other day actually, I stayed there for like close to a week, and guys, the treatment that I received there, my friend and I, the treatment that we received there was bad, guys. They robbed us. Every stop we made, whenever the cops came across us, they always used to tell us, yeah, this is not Joburg, this is Mozambique, yeah, you will feel it, We coughed out money almost each and every stop just because we were South Africans. Here's what gets to me the most about Faith, for people who say there's no justification for xenophobic attacks or behaviors. Guys, there is justification, especially if your kids are being poisoned, your kids are being killed, your kids are being given drugs, your kids are being influenced otherwise. There is justification for that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think we're at a point where there's no excuse that we can make for our foreign brothers and sisters for what they've done in South Africa. I don't care what anybody says. You can take this video and translate it in a way that you want it to make sense, or translate it in a way that will discredit me as a human being or as a content creator. But guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. After what I experienced in Mozambique, the bad treatment from those people there, and even other countries, Botswana, Nigeria, you know, I don't think I still have that brotherly love or that human love for them. Here's one thing that's funny is you will never ever go to their country, Mozambique, Botswana or Lesotho there, or you'll never ever find a South African, for example, pushing a trolley, selling vegetables that are old. They will arrest you same time. You'll never ever find a South African ethengisela abantwana babo in their country, in their streets, drugs, and then being protected by the very same police that are supposed to protect their communities. You'll never ever do that. They will shut you down. They will arrest you same time. You will never ever ever find a South African taking over a building, what was supposed to be something that future generations, your kids and everyone, to look at and be like, yeah, you know what, we have come far as a country. Taking over a building and turning it into the most disturbing site ever. Dumping sites full of drug addicts. You'll never ever find a South African going to their country, opening up a brothel, running a brothel, or an illegal club that sells fake alcohol and drugs. You'll never ever find a South African doing that to their country. But yet, ngoba sabantwana bako Soul Kesna, kumnandi, we do that. Guys, I'm not xenophobic. I love everybody. Be it you're white, you're black, you're Indian, you're colored. But nah, guys. Never.